Hey, what's up, everybody? So, yeah, let me close this door. Stacy and I are just sitting here having a good time between our morning patients and our afternoon patients. And today I want to focus on specifically on stem cells, and here's why. Here we are in 2021, and people are still wondering where our stem cells come from. Specifically, what happened is one of our people that's coming from out of town, which can you believe how many people we get that come from everywhere here to like Southeast Idaho? It's crazy. But this is about where these come from. So we have someone coming from out of town. She's all excited. She's all amped up. She's seen the results that we've gotten with other people, and she was referred here by a friend, but she's got a group of other friends that are skeptical. They want to know where stem cells would come from. And what I'm guessing is that they still think that they come from that they come from embryos, which means aborted fetal tissue. That never did happen in this country. It's not going to happen. If we were doing that, then we wouldn't last very long because the FDA would not be happy with us and we wouldn't be able to be in business anymore. And chances are I'd be in jail. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're talking the same language before we really get into where do these stem cells come from. To be clear, we all have our own stem cells. They're our body's natural reparative mechanism that when we get injured, these stem cells are activated and they reduce inflammation. They help control and modulate your immune system, and they help to and give the signals to regenerate and actually regrow new tissue. Now, I've seen some advertisements for people, and I've seen these devices that claim that they're stem cell machines. They're what they actually are, a shockwave. And they've rebranded them as stem cell machines. Like we use shockwave here. It does not get a stem cell response. It gets a response from growth factors and cytokines that can help you heal, and they can help you to feel better without taking medications. I think they're awesome. We use them on a daily basis, but they're not getting a stem cell response, so they're not really stem cell machines. I think that's a misnomer. So we are actually talking about stem cells themselves. Right now, as in January 20th of 2021, we're in the 4th generation of regenerative medicine and stem cell therapy. I'm not going to get into that much on this video, but let's talk about where they come from. So the first place that we can get them is what we call autologous stem cells, which is basically means there are procedures that are available where you can harvest your own stem cells and use them to inject into whatever joint that you have an issue with. Hi, Jen. I see you too. Nice to see you. You're always on. I love it. But autologous stem cells, basically the procedure is this. They're either going to take they're either going to take a little bit of your fat tissue through liposuction, a little bit, not a lot. They're going to take a little bit of fat tissue and get the stem cells out of your adipose tissue, or they're going to drill into your hip and take those stem cells from your hip. Now, the hitch to this is, number one, it is much more expensive because there's a procedure involved. There is recovery time, and the chances of it actually being beneficial get lower the more gray hair you have. So for someone like me, I'm 40. How old am I going to be this year? I'm going to be 43 this year. So using my own stem cells may actually be a pretty decent option for a guy that's my age. But as if I were a decade older or had more gray hair, then it may not be a great option. So I still think it's better than steroid injections because it has that anti-inflammatory response. It does get some pain relief, but it doesn't have like the long-term negative consequences of it. So that's autologous. That's getting from your stem cells. We're actually talking about allergenic, which basically allergenic means you're getting them from a donor. So the donors are, for most of the people that I've seen, there's been one or two exceptions. They actually come from donated birthing material from healthy moms, healthy babies. There's a couple of companies out there that use another healthy donor. I don't really want to get into that, but we do get ours from birthing material. Now, there is a process. What you have to understand is when you go to the hospital, you're going to have a baby, and you tell them you want to donate that material, there are screening procedures that you have to go through. Okay, it's only actually about 1 out of every 10 women that donates her birthing material can actually donate because she's healthy enough. So we're not going to get these unhealthy people with these bad, with unfavorable histories, they're just not going to be able to donate. So we're not going to see that as a risk factor. They're coming from, again, just healthy women donate their birthing material, and the stem cells themselves, we've seen them come from the placenta, we've seen them come from the umbilical cord matrix, the umbilical cord blood doesn't really have a lot of stem cells. That was a whole different topic for another time. But here we are in the 4th generation, where we're using actually what's called the stem cell exosomes. So if we talk about where they're coming from, then we're talking about birthing material. Now, specifically in our case, we're talking about what are called from the amniotic fluid that's full of these things called exosomes. Okay, exosomes are the chemical messengers, or the extracellular vesicles. You'll see them refer to that term, but they're the chemical signals that stem cells release. Okay, so what we used to think was the stem cells themselves were anti-inflammatory, that they were controlling your immune system, they were modulating, or that they were causing your body to grow new tissue. It's not the stem cell doing that. It's these exosomes that the stem cells are releasing that get that reaction to happen. So when you see these videos that we do of these patients that are saying, you know, I got up off the table after the injection, I'm feeling much better, and they go home happy as could be, that's because these exosomes are telling their bodies to repair. So in the 4th generation of stem cell therapy, we're not taking the stem cells, we're taking the exosomes that they've secreted. That's what we're injecting. So it's like we're cutting out the middleman. So what we're doing, even, you know, compared to a year ago from today, we're just using a much more concentrated form of what we were doing. That's what makes us the 4th generation. So there's your video for today. Totally forgot to mention, description of this video, there is a link to our Zoom class tonight. Tonight is our joint pain webinar. So for you and those people that you love that have joint pain issues, you need to be on that webinar, because we're going to talk more about stuff like this tonight. And that's at 7 o'clock. Link is in the description. And I will see you at the webinar. Thanks. See you on the next video.